let's go and set up our blog's reading settings next. So once again, over on the left-hand side, pop open your settings menu, and we'll just scroll down a little bit and look for reading underneath your settings menu there. That'll bring you into your reading settings screen. Now we have a bunch of options that we can set here. First off, and again, this really ties into blog customization, what do we want to display on the front page of your blog? In other words, when someone heads to jeff-blake.com or whatever the blog URL is going to be, what do they see? Well, by default, they're going to see that blog loop, right? All of the posts that are inside our blog, that chronological list of posts, right? But what we can do instead is we can specify a static page to display whenever someone goes to our blog instead. So I'll turn on static page here, and then the front page. So when someone goes to jeff-blake.com, for example, I want them to see the About page. Or this isn't really a good example, but the Contact Us page. Now, in the real world, what we do is we'd go and create a custom static page and probably call it Home Page or Front Page or something like this, and then come into our reading settings here and choose it out of our list of static pages. So these are all the static pages that you and I have created along the way here. So that's the front page for the blog, but we also have the post page, what we want to display when someone goes and looks at our posts. So you have the two options there. Now what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go back to the default here, the posts. I want people to see that chronological loop that I've established here for my blog. I'll scroll down just a little bit. The blog pages show at most X number of posts. Now, what does that mean? Well, again, I still have the live tab for my blog open inside my browser, so I'm going to head over there just for a second. And the value that I'm referring to determines how many posts will be displayed inside the blog at any given time. So let's see here. What do we have here? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 posts there, right? Well, what I can do here is I'll head back to this tab, and I'll go and change this. We have 6 posts inside our blog right now. I'm going to go and change this value to 4, for instance, and I'll go and click on Save Changes. Let's head back to our live tab here, and I'll refresh Command-R or Control-R there on the Windows side. By the way, there's our new title and the new tagline that you and I had added in not too long ago. Now let's count up our posts. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I continue scrolling down, what happens is we now get these links here, older entries. And if I click on that, what will happen is I'm now taken to older entries. There's the welcome to my new blog and that hello world post. And when I scroll down to the bottom of that page, I now have newer entries. So that's really what's happening here. We're controlling the number of posts that are visible at any given time now on our blog, which is extremely cool. So I just picked 4 sort of out of thin air. You can choose whatever value you want. And of course, if I head back to my back end here, this is all inside the reading settings here, and it's all about this value right here. So again, you can set that to whatever you like. I'll go back to the default of 10 posts here. Syndication feeds, or your RSS feeds, posts and post excerpts. So for each article in a feed, in an RSS feed, show that post's full text or just this summary, just the excerpt of that post. I think we talked about that a while back. And then finally, we have some encoding for our pages and our feeds. I leave the default. And of course, don't forget to click on Save Changes there down at the bottom.